We're here in Pilot Point, Texas, home of Chad and Susie Chanson and home of Hoofwatch, who we've teamed up with to bring you another series of how-to videos from Madison with the judge, Nigel Fennell. We're doing the two-man classes today, and we're doing, I hope I say this right, the Fitzwygram shoe. We have a tool and fullard shoe that's punched for an E5 slim. It's made out of 9.5 inches of 5/8 square. We put a couple marks up here that make it 2 1/4 inches off center, so 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/8. It's got a rockered or rolled toe, a rockered and a rolled toe, that's soft edge. It's got a nice profile, but the center of the toe is knocked down to 1/4 inch, and it's punched for 7 nail holes. And we have a set down piece, and we're going to need 2 1/4 inches for that material for the set down piece. And then these pieces on each end are going to be tooled and fullered, so they'll stretch approximately 1.5 inches. So, but this 2 1/4 inch piece is going to grow considerably because it's going to probably be set down to just a skosh over 1/4 inch thick. So we've got plenty of material, but where the hazards in this shoe are right where it goes from 1/4 inch to the tool and fullard. So we're going to bump about 1/3 and 1/3 and 1/3, 1/3 hot and 2/3 cold, and that'll give us an extra amount of insurance policy right in this area that we can play with when we're forging. Our marks a little bit and just kind of get the center hot. It's not important to hit hard as it is accurate. 5/8 square is the easiest material to bump up, as long as you just don't get crazy. You can see I've got some material that bumped up on both sides of my center punch marks, and so now we can start on the tooling. All right, I'm going to stick it right on the edge of the block, and that's where we're going to start the tooling. He's pulling it to him so that the tooling fills the one side a little easier. There we go. We got a nice clean line, and we have got it to stretch to 4.5. So I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to tighten up the sides and just clean up the tooling just one more time. I'm just narrowing up the section a little bit so it'll drop in the block a little bit. And you can see it just makes a nice clean section. Brought to you by Foreman Tools. Ka-ching. Now we'll do the other side. Nice clean line on the top. Center punch mark right over the edge of the block. Tighten up the flashing. Now we just clean up this edge and then we'll hit it with the flatter. Oh, sorry. I'm going to go one more time. Get a little bit of heat on that. The cool thing about that is at least I know I got the width that fills that corner right there. Just going to tidy it up just a little bit, pushing that stuff that flashes out on the block, getting that edge And then we're focusing on pushing that down into the block. There you go. We have got about the exact same on both sides, just a fraz under 5 inches. All right, I've got this material is the Fitzwygram material, the flattened out material is going to go down to 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to double in width and size. It's going to be quite a bit bigger. What we're going to do is we're going to cool down the branches, and what happens is this part right here takes the most abuse. So that's why we've got left the section a little bit bigger, is so that we can still forge on this without it getting too narrow this direction. So I'll quench out the branches and we'll get that toe as tight as we can. Cooling it down. So just getting most of that bend in the toe. It's the strongest part, so it'll be the hardest to keep in the toe. There we go. Now we'll go. Flatten this out just a little bit to get that out of the way. Perfect. We're just going to define both of those shoulders a little bit here. And then we got plenty of room now to work with. I can start working it on the horn. And I've made enough room in there now to where we can just get the flatter and just kind of got the toe kind of keeping a nice section. I'll clean that up a little more and I think we're well on our way. All right, so now I'm going to come and use the radius of the horn to my advantage. I'm just going to stay at the base. I'm going to go through it, and then you can see I'm not really making any contact with the horn with that branch. Same on this side. Using the radius. There we go. We're set up good. Now we will proceed to make each branch. I'm just gonna making the 1/4 band. Good job. we can work on the other branch now. Pushing that material over a little bit. Try not to get into your tool and fullard section. All right, we're going to use a set hammer, and we're just going to kind of clean up these edges. Cool. Now, go from the widest part and go right up to this and pick up that toe a little bit, and then bring that branch around. We're going to just kind of clean up this corner a little bit with the set hammer. Perfect. We've got the shoe. I think I've got a good shape on it. And now what we'll do is I'll put it in the vise, I'll take the top of it off, and that'll give me a place to go with my lines, and then I can start running my lines on the shoe. We got the top, so all I'm going to do is take the top off with the file, and that allows me to see where I've got any imperfections. Got a little bit of heat on this shoe, and then I'll put it in a vise and go to town on this one as well. Just gonna run my Fullerton through there one more time. I noticed I was a little bit narrow, and I'm gonna widen it. Right there, I'm just widening it, going out to the heel quarter, and now I'll come back in. Perfect. And then I'll pritchel it and we'll be good. Perfect. What I'm doing is I'm picking up on the branch and hitting the inside of the web, and then that way I'm getting a little bit of relieving the sole pressure. If you can't do this side over here with that not holding on to that branch, so you have to pick up on the branch, and that pushes the toe, the outside edge of the toe down. So next, I'll just put my set toe on there and we'll be done with the shoe. Just gonna come up here, and I'm lining it up with the arc of that horn, so it's not gonna be on there straight. There we go. and be done with it. Filed up, ready to put a nail in.